Today we're in lesson 10, which is the last lesson of the unit on constructing congruent triangles. So the first thing you're going to need is your contractor. Okay, to start we're going to take a look at a proof, and in this case all we really have to do is fill in their reason. So it wants to know y is v, the midpoint of RT. We know that is given, and I'm just going to cross that off so I remember. RS is congruent to TS. That is given, and let's go ahead and mark that there. RV is congruent to VT, and that is based on that original piece, which is we have a midpoint, so this is definition of a midpoint. We now have VS is congruent to VS. We know that's reflexive. And now when you look at your picture, hopefully you can recognize the triangles are congruent because of side, side, side. So today, as I said, we're going to do constructing congruent triangles, but we want to make sure we remember some basics because those basics will help us when we go to construct congruent triangles. So let's go to the first one. They want us to construct a segment congruent to the given segment. So I'm going to come down here. I'm starting off with a segment larger than that given one. I'm going to label this to be AB. This is A prime. So I'm putting my pivot point at A, and I'm looking for what corresponding hole matches up with point B. And we should all end up with the same. It looks like it is 41, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to remember that number. I'm coming down here. I'm putting my pencil in the 45, and I'm making an arc. And there is point B prime. Number 2, right below it, wants us to construct the perpendicular bisector of that segment. So remember, that means we're looking for a line roughly like the following that cuts that segment in half and is also perpendicular. Place my pivot point here. I can pick any opening I want as long as it's greater than 1/2 the distance from here to here. Looks like that distance is almost 60, so 30 is probably not the smartest one to pick. I'm going to go pick 40. Start at the top, and go down. Put my pencil there, again, 40, and go there. And remember, it's 2 points to determine a line. So I've got one of my points here, one is here, and we're going to go ahead and draw that perpendicular bisector in. Alright, moving on to construction number 3, we have to construct an angle that's congruent to that given angle. And again, let's just go pick some points, A, B, and C. So first thing I'm going to do is come down here. I'm going to draw a ray that represents BC. So again, we've got B prime. I can pick any point on here. It doesn't really matter. C prime. I'm going to go make an arc on that original angle, and I'm going to make that same corresponding arc down here. And I'm going to go use the number 30. And let me show it to you again in case you need it. Again, I used a 30 from there. I come down here. I'm going to do a 30 as well. And remember, we're trying to copy the opening of that first angle. So the opening that I'm measuring is here to here, and I'm going to copy that opening there. So I'm going to put my pivot point on this point of intersection. I'm rotating this inner part till it matches the line with that arc, and it looks as though it is about a 17. Again, I'm measuring here to here, come down, do that same thing, 17. There's the second point of that line, so we can go ahead and draw that in. And again, I can pick any point on this ray. It doesn't really matter. Just for sake of space, I'm going to put it all the way down here, A prime. Okay, the last construction is constructing the angle bisector of the given. So we're going to start by making an arc that intersects both sides of that angle. We can pick anything we want. I'm going to pick a 40. Then from this point right here and this point here, I'm going to go the same distance. And again, you can pick any opening you want. Sorry, you've got my dog in the background drinking her water. Her name is Belle. Okay, I'm putting my pencil there. I'm going to go and pick 40 from that left point. And I'm going to go and pick 40 from that right point. Again, I went here to here 40, here to here 40. There's where they intersect. And now we can draw in that angle bisector. Alright, so keeping those in mind, now we're going to have to go and copy a triangle. So the 5 ways to prove the triangles are congruent, we've got side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, and we have hypotenuse, leg. So we're going to take a look at a few of these methods and copy the triangles. So this first one, I want to copy this triangle, I want to place it here, and I want to do it by copying the 3 sides. I'm going to go ahead and label this triangle to be X, Y, and Z. So first thing I want to do is go ahead and copy segment XY. So we're going to come over here. This is point X, and we're using that skill that we did on the front side. So I'm putting my pivot point on point X. I'm looking to see what hole corresponds with point Y. It looks roughly about 78. So I'm going to take that opening over here, place my pencil in 78, and that would be Y. Now for the next one, I don't know exactly where segment XZ is supposed to be. It could be here, it could be here, it could be here. So what I'm going to start by doing is just measuring that distance from X to Z. Again, let's go see what hole it corresponds with. It looks like it's about a 66. I'm going to take that opening. I'm going to place that opening right here, and we're going to 66. And I'm making an arc. So that means the segment can be anywhere in there, but that leaves it pretty open. So now I'm going to go measure the length from Y to Z, and I'm going to copy that. So let's go copy Y to Z. It looks like it's about, actually it looks like it's pretty close to a 66 as well, from here to here. I'm going to take that distance, I'm going to come over here. Let's go put that pencil in 66, and now I make an arc. So this point right here is making sure the distance from X to Z is 66, and the distance from Y to Z is 66, and I have to satisfy both of them. So that gives me that final point there. And that is my point Z prime. Okay, let's go on to method number 2. And we're going to try and keep this simple. We're going to go do side, angle, side. So again, first thing I want to do is go and copy that side. So I'm going to label this triangle to be A, B, and C. This is B prime. Go measure that opening from here to here. Looks like it's about a 86. Take that opening over here, put it on the 86, and it looks like I need to go extend that triangle just a little bit further. Okay, so I copied the side, now I have to go and copy the angle. That's why we practiced that skill in the front. So we're going to go make an arc at angle B, and I'm going to use the 30. I need need to go measure that same arc over here. So again, I'm going to go do an arc of 30. And now we want to measure the opening. So we're measuring from here to here, and we're going to copy that distance over here. So putting my pivot point, and again, we should end up roughly with the same thing. It looks like it's 1, 2, looks like it's about a 43. Let's go over here. 40, 1, 2, and 3. So that means I know the second side goes up here, but I need to actually copy that length. So now we're back to copying segment AB. So segment AB looks as though it is about a 42. So I'm going to come over here, put my pencil in 42, and make an arc, and now I know where point A is. So there's A, there's B, and finally, I should say these are A, B prime, B prime, C prime. And let's go ahead and draw that triangle. Alright, we're going to go look at one last method. We're going to go do angle, side, angle. I'm going to start by copying that side. And let's label this L, M, and N. So first thing I'm going to do is copy segment MN. That's the easy part. It looks like it's about an 83. So this is M prime, N prime. So we copied the segment. Now what we need to do is copy both angles. So I need to copy angle M and place it here, angle N and place it over here. So again, I'm going to go make an arc. I'm going to stick with that 30. I'm going to go do 30 from here. And I have to measure the opening from here to here. So let's go back and do that. Looks as though, again, I'm looking for that point of intersection. Looks as though it is a 31. I'm going to take that measurement. 31. Again, I measured from here to here, it's 31. I placed it here to here, it's 31. So we're going to go ahead and draw in that ray. So I've copied the angle, I've copied the side, now I need to go and copy angle N. So we're going to repeat that same process. I'm going to go make an arc of 30. Come over here, I'm going to make an arc of 30. And then again, I need to measure the opening from here to here. And if you've used 30, we should end up with the same thing. It looks like it is pretty close to I believe that would be a 21. So we're going to go all the way over here, place that in that 21, and make an arc. And here is that second angle that we copied. So finally, there is L. Do the best you can. We'll be working on some constructions again on Thursday in class. Okay, so you have two parts of your assignment. Essentially, I want you to just go practice any two of the three. So there's one that's side, 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 angle, side, or if you want to go back and do the last one, angle, side, angle, or if you're looking for the challenge, you can go try angle, angle, side. Again, I'm just looking for 2 out of the 3. The second part of your assignment is a Canvas quiz, just to start reviewing to get you ready for your test checkpoint A on Friday. As always, if you have any questions, send me an email so we can get those issues cleared up. Thanks so much.